The third carriage from the front is the one with the lanterns, and everyone who rides the night train long enough finds it eventually. There is no sign on the door. You simply walk forward through the quiet cars, past the sleepers and the readers and the window watchers, until the light changes from white to amber, and then you know you have arrived. The lanterns hang from the ceiling on short brass chains, and they sway very slightly with the motion of the train, so the light moves like water over the seats, slow and golden and unbothered. Tonight the carriage holds 4 people, which is about as crowded as it ever gets. There is the old gentleman who boards somewhere in the hills and never says where he is going. There is the woman with the knitting basket who is making something long and gray-blue that might be a scarf or might simply be knitting for the pleasure of the needles. There is a young man with a book he has read before, which is the best kind of book for a train at night. And there is you, settled into the corner seat by the window, where the glass is cool and the cushion has learned the shape of 100 travelers before you and holds you kindly because of it. The attendant comes through at the hour when nobody checks the hour anymore. She carries a tray with a teapot the color of river stones and more cups than there are passengers, because the night train always plans for one more friend than it has. The tea tonight is something gentle, chamomile, and a little honey already stirred in. And when she pours it, the steam rises up into the lantern light and turns gold for a moment before it disappears. She does not ask if you want any. In the lantern car, the answer is always yes. The old gentleman takes his cup in both hands and says, to no one in particular, that the weather is doing exactly what weather should do at this hour, which is to stay outside. Everyone smiles a little. The rain has been following the train for some miles now, soft as a broom on the roof, and the windows wear it in long, slow lines that catch the amber light and carry it gently downward. It is good rain. It asks nothing of anyone. The woman with the knitting holds up her work and squints at it, and the young man says it looks like the color of the sky just before morning. She considers this, turning the wool in the light. She says she had been thinking it was the color of the sea remembering winter, but she likes his answer better, and the needles begin again, tick and tick, a sound so small and steady it could set the rhythm for a heartbeat. The conversation drifts on from there, going nowhere, in no hurry to arrive. They speak of bread and of a dog the gentleman once knew who could open doors, but always close them again politely. They speak of which seat is warmest and agree without testing it that it is probably yours. Somewhere around the second cup of tea, the attendant returns with blankets. They live in a cupboard at the end of the carriage, folded in thirds, and they smell faintly of lavender and clean wool. She hands one to the gentleman and one to the young man, and then she pauses by your seat and gives you the wide one, the blanket big enough for 2, because the knitting woman has moved across the aisle to sit nearer the window and the warmth, and it seems only right to share. You spread it over both your laps. She tucks her edge under without looking up from her needles. You tuck yours. Nothing is said about it. Some kindnesses are quieter than thanks. The train leans into a long, patient curve, and all the lanterns lean with it, and for a moment the whole carriage glows on its side like a candle being carried carefully down a hallway. Then the track straightens, the light settles, and the wheels return to their old song, the one with only 2 notes, the one that means everything is exactly where it was a moment ago, and will be again a moment from now. Outside, the dark goes by in its soft, unmeasured way. A farmhouse light, far off like a lantern that wandered out into a field and decided to stay. A line of trees keeping their own counsel, the rain easing now, letting go of the glass one drop at a time. The young man's book has tipped against his chest, still open, keeping his place out of loyalty. The gentleman's cup is empty, and his eyes are closed, and his face has the look of a man listening to something pleasant from a long time ago. The knitting slows, tick and tick, and then a longer quiet between them, the way footsteps slow at the end of a good walk. The woman folds her work into the basket and pulls her side of the blanket a little higher, and you pull yours, and the wool settles over you both like snow that has decided to be warm. The lanterns dim themselves, the way they do, not going out, only lowering their voices. The amber light grows rounder and softer at the edges. The wheels keep their two-note song. The night keeps its reign, somewhere behind you now. And the lantern car carries you on through the dark, gently, gently, the way you would carry something you loved and did not want to wake.